are back for another garden tour, and look at what we got here. Oh yeah, it's gonna be opening up, and I'm gonna make sure it gets pollinated because I love my little paintbrushes, and I'll walk around and and pollinate when I have to. So we're back for another garden tour, and we're starting off with this. We're in the corner again.
Yeah, we decided to start over here because we don't have a whole lot to talk about.
Yep.
But
this was exciting.
Yeah, this was awesome. Especially because if you look at how many just the males we have. What's the males or was the female?
It was all male flowers, and no females coming in.
It's the first female.
Yep, we're gonna have spaghetti squash.
Yay!
And you know what else is growing really, really well? What? Those cucumbers.
Oh yeah.
I kid you not. Okay.
You have the camera, dork.
I have the camera, and I am a dork. Okay, so we're gonna look at these cucumbers really quick because they are coming in really well. There's a cucumber there. There's cucumbers here. So there's a cucumber down there. And cucumbers
everywhere.
They're everywhere. Isn't that great? So we are getting an abundance of cucumbers. What in the world is that? A sunflower?
Where?
That little black, little petted up thing right there.
Let's see. You should probably pull it out. It looks like birdseed.
It's something. It's a seed, but I don't know of what. And then, yeah, cucumber down here. So this is really cool. We have a lot of flowers also coming in today. I spent the day tying up tomatoes and using the toothbrush, the electric toothbrush, to pollinate a lot of these flowers.
And then those sunflowers that we threw right there are getting crazy big.
They are, and we planted some little, the red crimson sunflowers, and those have all sprouted, and they're coming up and doing well.
The asparagus is doing pretty well as well.
I'm going to pan back because I think a lot of times we do close-ups. I just want to give you a good green view. Yeah, look at that. Asparagus. That's not even to the ground.
No.
So,
yep. They're low to the ground.
They're taller than the ruler there.
This is 24 inches.
So you have about
2 feet.
Yeah, you have about 24 and a half of the 24 and 12, 24. Yeah.
Like 28-ish.
24 and and a half.
Technically, wouldn't it be like 30 inches?
It'd be 30 inches, or
I don't know where you're getting
not
half
30
from.
inches either. It's 32.
That was just a quick estimate.
Well, because it's half
Yeah.
of that measurement, so. Okay, so we're walking this way. It's really humid today, and oh my god, we have a lot of little flies falling in the pool.
Gross.
Yep, I don't know where those are coming from. The pomegranates are still doing really well. You can see they're swelling up.
Looks like this one's not gonna make it.
Yeah, sometimes they don't.
Should I pull it?
Yeah, you can. Let's see. These are the sunflowers that are coming in. They can't eat pomegranate.
They can't?
No. While he's in here.
Might as well.
Might as well. So we're going to come in and discuss our chickens. Because we have babies that were little. And these are 3 of them right here.
Number 4 is inside.
Number 4 is inside this little pen. The chickens that we've had for almost now
2 years?
2 years going on. This is their 3rd round. These are the older ones, and we integrated them today. So they're still trying to get used to each other. We do have beak bumpers.
We put this is one of the ones we put beak bumpers on, just so that way it'll leave the little ones alone. If you guys can see the beak bumpers right there, and that just prevents them from fighting. And if you'll notice the little shades right here, it'll make it so that way they don't challenge each other.
Yeah.
They do still a little bit of pecking, but it's more of like get out of my way pecking.
Yeah, and pecking order and what do you think you're doing in our pen, you know. So they are definitely gonna take some time to get used to these guys, but we've had them side by side so that they can mingle with each other without being able to attack each other. So they're a little used to them. I mean, they've been in here for almost a month and a half.
Baby chicks. Yeah.
A month and a half, 2 months. They've been here 2 months.
Let me see if I can get one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are the Rhode Island Reds. And you can tell they're still babies. They don't have all the feathers like the big ones. However, I can't talk. I imagine, oh, that's a nice, beautiful, clear view of her. I imagine that she will be bigger than these guys.
Yeah.
Because she's already taller than them. So when she pops her head up, her head goes above the rest of them.
No. How do you do this?
We have the black sex lynx. Now this one has what is called a crossbeak. And it either got that way from an injury or we're not sure, like it wasn't like that, but it develops within 4 to 12 weeks. So you can see how it's crossed. And the main thing is to monitor that it is eating and drinking and gaining weight. And she is, so...
I don't know if you guys can see that, but in her mouth that is a little bit of food.
Yeah.
Which means she is eating. She is a little frustrated with me holding her.
Yeah.
But she is still eating.
And this is Leia.
Yeah, this is Leia. You can tell because she's all gold up front. The other one
Is not so gold.
It's mostly just pure black.
Yeah, and that's Kylo Hen.
Yes.
So this is Leia, and that's Kylo Hen. And then we have Lucy and Ethel, which are the Reds. The only other chicken in here that really had, I mean, the other ones had names, but we can't tell them apart, is Marilyn here. And so she's our Buff Orpington.
Yeah.
See, this is what I'm talking about. Little pecking order, put in place, get out of my way type attitude.
Hey.
And all they're trying to do is leave the little, we have it open so they can come and go, but somewhere like where they can go where they still feel safe.
So that way they're not.
I would, because she's like chasing them in there. Oh, a cool tip, and I found this, I'm not entirely sure. He's using a stick. Well, get them out at least, maybe. Okay, so a cool tip for retrieving eggs is taking a spaghetti, one of the spaghetti tools. You can get this from the dollar store.
Yeah, they're pretty cheap.
And we used one of the sticks. I'm sure sometimes you accumulate these, mops break, brooms break, things like that. And we just taped it onto this.
Here, watch.
And so what we do is, making sure this door is still closed. So we just take it, we can't reach it all the way back there. Whoop! Oh, sorry, I almost dropped the phone. We can't reach it back there, or he can, but I can't.
I have to get down, and it takes a while because they're like really curious animals, chickens are.
Yeah.
And so I'll go in there, and then they'll all follow me in, and they'll be like, "Oh, what are you doing in here?" And then they won't let me out.
Right. And these ladies, they're a handful. They've been our high maintenance chickens, is what we call them. Another reason we have the beak bumpers on.
Cannibals.
They're so chickens.
Think about it this way: do you like the flavor of chicken? So do they.
So do they. The minute they draw blood, they keep pecking at it. So they see red. A thing that you can do to prevent them from continuing to peck if they've injured another chicken is to spray what's called blue coat, and it changes the skin and the injury to a blue purple, and they won't peck at it. And it's also an antibiotic treatment for the chicken. If they actually get a hold of the chicken really in like a horrible way.
The funny part is with Marilyn, she's actually like top of the pecking order, or at least pretty high in there. At first she had a wound about this size on her stomach chestish area.
And it was caused by them pecking.
Yeah, and these guys were just attacking her.
Yeah.
So we had to take her in, we had to soak her in Epsom bath, and we had to just antibiotic spray.
Yep, that blue coat.
Now that she's back, she doesn't take anyone's crap.
Yeah, she doesn't put up with it. But
She gets mad when we try to hold her.
Oh, I know. She's a feisty one. She went broody for a little while.
she's not anymore.
Yeah, she finally snapped out of it, so that was good. Because when they go broody, like, we don't have a rooster. You can't have roosters in the city. But when they go broody, they end up not laying eggs during that time period. They're trying to hatch an egg, so...
as many as we do have a surplus of eggs, we don't want to lose a chicken losing its eggs, just because that eventually will add up.
Yeah, after 3 years, they start tapering off on their eggs anyway, which is why we do have the new ones.
Once we're done with these guys, we can't really eat them.
No.
Our dad doesn't want to eat them just because we've had them for so long.
Yeah.
But we are going to use them for the garden. We're going to use them for decomposition.
Yeah, composters, and throw stuff to them. They can keep eating. We'll like figure it out as they go. You can see how they kind of fluff out. We're getting like 90-degree weather here.
Yeah.
It's getting pretty hot. Yeah. Well, no, they fluff out really bad. Not really bad. They fluff out to cool themselves off.
They go poof.
And then they bury themselves in the dirt.
Well, if you look right there, there originally was a really big hole.
Yeah, in this corner
But as they're like moving around, they like to move stuff.
Chickens will turn the soil all over the place. They will put holes in the soil. So you got to also make sure that if you have, like, one, we can't have them roaming around the neighborhood, so we have to keep them contained. 2, there's cats in this neighborhood that are feral.
Yeah,
and
just recently they got a cat stuck in between the boards over here.
Yeah.
And we had to go contact the neighbors, and they had to help us get it out of the fence.
Yeah, and it was stuck, and it was like brazen hell over there, and
scaring everything.
It was scaring everything. It was kind of crazy. And I thought something was getting the chickens because it was making so much commotion, but it just got stuck in the fencing. We're very close to all our neighbors, so we have to keep the chickens contained. Chickens can fly a bit, so if they wanted to, they could leave the yard.
Yeah, we don't have very high fences. Like, I'm taller than most of the fences.
Yeah, he's taller than most of the fences. He's 6 to 8 feet fences, and these are not even that. So, but yeah, these are the chickens.
They're doing pretty well.
They're doing good. Let's go this way. Okay, you need to get the gate because I can't.
Okay.
We still have our butterfly net for these moths. If you saw the last video, we have solved our moth problem.
Plus, if you look right now, you see any moths?
I know, there might be 1 or 2, but for the most part, sorry about the weird angles. We're just trying to get out of the gate. So for the most part, we've cleared up a lot of those white moths. I am having to come in and make sure to hand pollinate certain things like the Kadari melons. I'm going to come back this way. Look how green everything is from this angle.
You want to come look at the spider melon? That's pretty neat.
Spider melon?
Spider? Where'd you get melon?
I don't know.
Right in there.
Is it one of those weird little flat ones? Oh, there's a little...
It's more like a little jumping spider.
You see that? The other day there was a gray one that was like chasing me around. Spiders are beneficial. They eat bugs. Oh, this one is really, really pretty. It's like an iridescent.
That's why I want to show them to you.
I don't know if you can see that. There you go. Let's zoom in just a bit. And hope it don't jump on me, because... Isn't that cool? I know. Everybody just went, oh my god, a spider! And they got all squeamish.
He's small.
He's small, and we like them for bugs because they're gonna just, take care of bugs that we have. Look at the height on this tomato.
It's huge. I didn't even realize how big these got.
It's like my height. We have eggplant, which we talked about last time, but we have a few eggplants now growing. So this is really cool. We have one in the back here that's growing, and my hand is covering it. So there's one eggplant right there, another one here, and then there's another one on this side that's growing. Chinese noodle beans are getting really tall. Look at the next one. Look at the next one.
Oh, that one's even taller than me.
Higher up.
Plus, I'm standing on a rock.
Not only that, look higher up.
Oh. It's all the way up to there.
So
technically, they have like an extra foot because they're on this board.
They are on this board, but they are taking off. So Chinese noodle beans, they look a little scraggly. They were getting attacked by grasshoppers, and
They're actually looking pretty good now. Like,
Yeah,
a couple
well,
damage, like right there.
I think this might be heat damage because it is getting hot. They recover nicely, so I'm not too worried about it. I forgot to tie this one tomato. These tomatoes are doing really well. So there. We have more tomatoes here. This is like the effect of doing this with a toothbrush. These are also turning into tomatoes. If you try to like knock them and they don't fall off, that means they're pollinated.
Plus, for any people that are gardening themselves, it is starting to get to tomato hornworm. Tomato hornworm season. That's hard to say. It's starting to get to that type of season.
That it is. So just be on the lookout. We actually used black light and come out, and probably tonight we will probably be doing that just because it is getting close to the season. Corn is doing really well. I did some of the lettuce is bolting, so I went ahead and gave some of it to the chickens. By bolting, it means they're turning to seed. So if you look at this lettuce here, look how tall it is. It's in a grow bag. It's getting really, really tall. I can still harvest these leaves right here. As it gets towards summer, it gets a little bitter. But from this top, it'll send off seed heads. And then once it does that, you really don't want to eat it. It's fine. You can, I have some more lettuce back here. This is how hot the day is. They start off looking like this in the morning. And then by the end of the day, they look like that, all wilted. So there's that. I have more lettuce seed that I need to harvest back here. Tomatoes are doing really well. Oh, the yellow summer squash. Alice, get out of there.
Alice.
So we have a nice little yellow summer squash that I also hand pollinated just to make sure. But it's our first yellow summer squash coming out.
Oopsies.
And then Kajari melons galore.
We have tons of flowers.
Not only flowers, but
We do have quite a few. Like, there's one. Oh, this one has even got its coloring coming up.
not only that, but okay. So if you start on this end, okay, and where were they? Oh yeah. So there's 1, 2, right here in this little vicinity here, and then there's more kind of spaced out in here. But you keep going and you can just keep finding Kajari melons. This one did not get pollinated. Look at this. This is what happens when they don't get pollinated. They shrivel up and they turn yellow. My battery is at 15%. How funny. But yeah, so I have to like make sure I come in with a paintbrush and just make sure these guys are getting pollinated. We want to have a lot of Kajari melons. I've been talking about them with everyone, and so it's kind of like everybody wants one.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure they get pollinated. I'm going to grab this egg because I know Winky will actually come and gently pick up this egg.
Break them. She just picks them up and puts them in her mouth and just walks away.
Yeah.
And she won't break them placing them down either. She just...
Yep. And gently walks around until she finally gets it cracked, and then she'll suck on it. But so this is how the arbor is looking right now. Green halfway up on this side, green halfway up on that side. Hopefully the Kajari melons will still keep going. And we are starting to get figs. The sunflowers are huge and blossoming. Look at this. This is a weird angle. You can't see it. But look at that. There we go. It's starting to, the sun is starting to set. These are absolutely gorgeous.
Plus, I just love the texture of the middle.
Oh. Your dad knows we're out here filming and he keeps sending me texts. Like, oh my goodness. I did some pruning of some leaves that looked kind of icky. And as I was tying up tomatoes, these peppers are starting to set fruit also. The lettuce is getting ready to come out. We have a squirrel that's running back here and is trying to, I don't know what it's eating exactly. It's kind of all over. I'm gonna come back.
What the heck is that? Run with that.
What?
That bug right there.
Oh, I can't see it. I see like something moving, but tiny little bug. There's ants all over. It flew away.
It was like red and yellow, and it was crazy looking. And it looked like it had horns.
Forks?
Like little fork horns.
Fork horns? I don't know. We'll have to look for that. We like to do our segments of good bug, bad bug, and we have one coming up. There's all. Oh, these are these little flies that are probably ending up inside the pool. It's on the edge of that. Ants are climbing up the sunflowers.
They won't do any damage to them, but they do like to use them for shelter.
You do notice that I have to like raise my hand up.
They're so tall.
They're so tall.
I think that's our tallest one.
Mm-hmm.
Look at all those heads. There's one there, here. The main one's all the way up there, and there's like 4 or 5 more.
Yeah, there's a lot of flowers on these, even on this one here that's blooming. We do have ladybugs, so I imagine maybe the ants are trying to plant aphids.
It is possible.
This zucchini is doing really well considering it was in a 7-gallon grow bag, both of them, and I transplanted them.
Once it starts to heat up, they'll start to take off.
Yeah, I did remove 2 zucchinis that were never going to open up and flower. They turned yellow right away, but that's okay because, yeah, there's this one here and this one here. So I think they took a minute and had to like regroup, and now they're coming back. I just hope that I have a male flower to get some pollen off of. I do this one when it opens. I will probably take a paintbrush, gather the pollen, and put it in a Ziploc so when these open, I can pollinate them because I don't think I'll have a male flower opening at the same time. You can do that to help your plants pollinate. We also, this pumpkin is coming out wild. Pretty wild. That's the chicken saying, get out of my space. I made this sun catcher this week. We had to grill some beads. I put them in a cake pan and I set them on the grill and I cooked them for about 15 to 20 minutes and it melted the beads.
When the sun catches them just right, it creates like a nice little design.
Yeah. You can see just like the different tones and stuff. It's a little hard, the sun setting. It's hard to see all the different colors.
You won't be able to see it soon enough when it's a little bit brighter. We're doing this a little more towards the evening because we weren't able to do it this morning, and we were planning on doing it tomorrow, but I have work to do tomorrow.
Yep, he has to work, so he won't be here in the morning. We like to do this in the morning time. This plant here took a little hit with the heat today. Kind of had some parts dry up. And I watered first thing this morning, so that's just telling you how hot our days are getting. We don't have the, like, it is humid right now, and I think that's because we have a lot of cloud cover, but there's no rain. We haven't had rain really. I think we had a few drops, huh?
Yeah.
The watermelons, I have to make sure they get a lot of moisture because watermelons need a lot of water, and that's what those are there. What do you think? The way I have it climbing.
Well, I saw that one, but I didn't see this one. That's gonna be cool.
That's cool.
Do you think it'll be able to sustain its weight?
Once it gets to the top, I'm going to put rope and twist it around and then have it come down around.
I've never noticed. I didn't think they did this.
Yep. They vine. They're vines. They're like trailing vines, and they have the little tendrils. So we're going to see. This is going to be an experiment. Quite the interesting experiment of whether we can vertically set this pumpkin. And now these are good sized pumpkins, remember?
They do. They're pretty big, and it's pretty weird because the last time we had this, we had it like maybe right here underneath, and it spread all the way out back there.
It went that way. We
only got like one pumpkin, but it lasted probably the entire year.
Yeah, this.
Like, if you guys are wanting to store food, these pumpkins are amazing.
We have 4 pumpkin vines in total to grow. So we'll see what kind of pumpkins we get. And I don't know, Halloween. It's far away and we're looking forward to it, but hopefully we'll see how it goes. But there goes a little mouse running through the yard. Because we get little mice and the dogs. No, we don't want them getting them. That's our fennel and our dill and our...
No, the mouse.
No, because they have to go through the garden.
Mouse, come over here, then get them.
I know, then get them. She's our mighty mouse hunter. But she will destroy everything to get at it. We have... Yeah, so I've suspended the pumpkin in the back on this stake as well, just like this one. So it'll be interesting to see. Echinacea, I found out, takes a few years to start flowering, but it is growing really well. I think I have to separate the ones that I have in this little bundle, and I will probably separate and put them over here because it seems to like this area. They're growing really well here. Also, we planted the red sunflowers on this edge right here, and those are doing well. So I did prune the verbena. I had to prune that because something was eating it.
You can still see some of these being eaten.
Yeah, so I think the grasshoppers are back. I might have to put some more diatomaceous earth down. I hate putting that down because, one, it does...
Bees.
Yeah, it could hurt the bees.
It's supposed to be okay for them.
Because you don't put it in the flower. So
it's still the chance of it hurting them.
Yeah, any bug that lands is susceptible to getting killed by diatomaceous earth, and it takes like 48 hours to kill. My concern is the ladybugs. So...
And we had a lot. If you guys saw some of our older videos, you'll see how many ladybugs we got. But we don't want any of them dying. They're all helping.
Look at this jungle. Every time I show this, it's so different. And I don't realize it until like right now. Because I would pan up and the sunflowers would maybe come up to like here. And now I have to pan further up to get the top of the sunflowers and where they're blooming. And something just bit my elbow. Ouch. The roses even wilted today.
It got pretty hot. Well, it wasn't crazy hot, but it was still pretty hot.
Scoot over. So I'm joining him. This is the bench that we made for the garden.
The ending bench.
The ending bench.
If we ever get a backboard for it, well, I don't know if we should because this thing's here.
Tomorrow I'm going to be working on this in the morning, so I got to make sure I wake up when it's nice and cool.
This is the chocolate mint, right?
That's the regular mint. And the chocolate mint's down there, and then the lime one is right there.
The mint's doing amazing.
Chocolate mint, okay, so if you're going to plant mint and you're going to have it for the purpose of, like,
Corsair.
You think it's great and you want to have it in the garden, but you really don't know how to use it, okay? There are Greek recipes that utilize mint. One, you can use a lime mint, a regular mint. Those would be really well with it. The other thing is tea. So this is our tea garden portion, and we have it for tea, and I can tell you that chocolate mint, when it's dry, is even more potent. The other mint is like still potent, but chocolate mint is strong.
Like mint chips.
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I'm zoomed all the way out as far as I can be, but I'm gonna just like pan around. The beans are doing good also.
They're huge.
By the way,
showed off some of the beans we got this morning.
Oh, I know. I gave him like a little handful of beans. The pinto beans are vines. They are not bush beans. I don't know why it says they're bush beans. I put those red stakes in place that we mentioned last time, and they are climbing them. So keep that in mind if you're putting pinto beans down. They do like to trellis up something. So, but look at this. That's a lot of green. We didn't really go over the peppers and the okra. They're doing great. We're getting tons of peppers and okra.
There's just nothing really new with them right now.
They're
bigger.
They're growing, and there's little fruit, but you can barely see them. It's so green in the area.
It's basically the same as when we showed them last time.
Yeah, the peppers kind of blend into the whole area.
Once they start to turn red.
Yeah. If you haven't ever seen our garden tours like on the Facebook page, I can explain something else really quick. So the pepper bed is what I call the hotbed, and hotbed can also be used to describe...
It has two different meanings to it.
Yeah, there's like a compost bin type hotbed, and then there's what I call as a hotbed. And the reason Sorry.
It's physically hot.
It's physically hot. That brick wall radiates heat, and those peppers love it. So, and so does the okra.
Technically, it's a triple meaning.
A triple?
Well, it could have a triple meaning. It's mostly just a double, because it's also hot peppers.
Hot peppers. It is hot peppers. Although I did put sweet banana peppers in there. Pepperoncinis. I'm probably saying that wrong always. Pepperoncinis, maybe. I don't know. But there are serranos, jalapenos, habaneros, and ghost peppers. Jaloki, red, ghost peppers. And I do have some Thai peppers. They're still small. The hotter they are, the smaller they are, and the longer they take to grow. So, but they are growing, funny enough. In fact, I have one right here that is the tiniest little thing ever. See that?
It's so small.
But it was even tinier. And yet this, which is, what is this one? I think this is a serrano. Oh, you can't even tell now. Oh, no, this is a jalapeno. So this jalapeno is actually already getting ready to set. I have a corn growing through it. Sorry. So this jalapeno is getting ready to set. It's doing quite well. It was one that I grew from seed, and it was small, and it's now taking off. And
show off how much the decomp with the wood chips are.
Oh, so yeah, this wood chip is already starting to break down. In fact, when I planted the pineapple sage, because we got a new pineapple sage, the pineapple sage, I actually dug up worms in this area.
Nice.
Yeah.
So if you'll notice right here, this is this little top layer, so about to like right there-ish, is the wood chips. And if you'll also notice, it's very moist.
Yep.
Like that's because all these wood chips are keeping all the moisture in and all the dryness out. And it's still got a way to go because there's probably about an inch of wood chip right there. Mm-hmm. But it is still really moist and it is all decomposing, and it's all helping the garden every time it decomposes, even just a little bit.
And you can see, I'm going to pan around, all the wood chip that we have in this garden. Like,
oh God, there's a lot.
there's a lot. There's wood chip down below where I'm sitting. There's wood chips in all the beds, the raised beds. Any of the beds in the back, there's wood chips. It helps the soil. It breaks down.
Even if it's just a little bit. Mm-hmm. That's how we started with it.
Yeah, and you can show them the difference because look right there. There's regular New Mexico soil.
Yeah, that's sand.
Look at that sand, right? And just inches away, we're already getting rich soil because of the wood chips. And it just breaks down over time. I do add compost because we have a compost bin. In fact, it's probably past ready, but I wanted it to break down a little bit more. And I've been spinning the barrel.
Have you spun it today?
I did not spin it today. So he's going to go spin the... Uh-oh. I think I lost sight.
What?
Oh, no. We're still filming, but we're about to lose battery. So this is the compost bin. And there's a lot of rich compost in one of the barrels. We probably have about 5% left on the battery. So we are going to... That one's all dusty. Don't put your head in it. I probably need to wet that one down.
Yeah. It is starting to look good, though.
Yeah. So this is the garden this week. And we thank you for joining us for this week's garden tour. Please subscribe to our channel.
Hit the like button.
Yep.
And the notification bell.
And the notification. And please comment. If you have questions, you see something in the garden you want to know about more, comment. Or if there's something you'd like to have information on, just comment in the description and we'll be happy to film a segment discussing those questions.
Ideas are always welcome.
Ideas are always welcome. Our channel is growing, and by watching and subscribing, he's all backing out of it.
Oh, I think you're showing off the garden.
By watching and subscribing, commenting, you help our channel grow, and we would love to share more with you. This is going to be a lot of different process. We plan to grow through as much as we can through the winter. So we'll just keep these videos going. So may your gardens be blessed. May you have a wonderful harvest. And thank you for watching.
Make sure to tune in next time.
Happy gardening.